Okay. Blue,
Hi, how you doing?
are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clearly. I thought you were going to walk into the show, but I see you called into the show, which is all good as long as you're able to articulate the mission that you're on because you're doing valuable work on social media, specifically Twitter. And not only are you highlighting Twitter's bias against conservatives, but your verified hate hashtag is really eye opening. Can you tell us about it?
Sure thing. Yeah, I noticed that there was a one-sided double standard when it comes to social media censorship, and this is undeniable at this point. We've seen many people, prominent figures, be kicked off of Twitter and Facebook and other various social media websites for, simply talking about, maybe demographic shifts or, expressing their support for the president or, simple things like this. And so I, I figured that maybe if I started looking up some of these left-wing pundits, these journalists, these celebrities, maybe I could find some hate speech, right? And what I found was an overwhelming amount of what they like to call hate speech, except for all of it is directed at white people. And it surprises me because I thought that, surely if I can find over 1,000 examples of
Yeah.
people explicitly saying that they hate white people, then surely I could find just as many examples of people saying, I hate black people or I hate Jewish people or something like that. And I looked and it does not exist on Twitter. If you look for people saying these things about anybody other than white people, you can't find it. And so this hashtag verified hate really has exposed the double standard that we're up against, and it's really resonating with people. I'm getting a lot of support, but a part of the reason why I'm not showing my face is because I've been getting a lot of death threats from these
Yeah.
leftists.
Oh yeah. And that's par for the course. Now, how long have you been doing this digging?
Well, we started about 2 weeks ago, and ever since then, we've been getting a lot of submissions, a lot of people pointing things out, and I just keep posting them.
And 2 weeks, and you've amassed quite a treasure trove of hatred from these from these users. Now, um, do you do this alone or you have a team?
Well, it's sort of I guess you could call it a team. We're a small group of people, mostly just people helping out with, searching and digging. And I've got a few people sending me, various tweets and things like that. So you could call it a team, but really it's just a lot of people that are fed up with excuse me, a lot of people that are just fed up with the double standard.
Now, so I wanted to run this by you because while conservatives are being purged and shadow banned, because shadow ban was even that was being denied by Jack and Twitter, the verified users or the verified others are given a pass, and that pass include the privilege to spew anti-white rhetoric. And what amazed the what amazed me about your work is that the verify hate hashtag is composed of isn't composed of random Twitter accounts that tweet anti-white comments, but accounts that are verified. And those are the ones that Twitter usually look at first when they come through with the this broom where they want to clean up the their platform. So they say they usually look at the verified comments for verified users first. Now, of course, you got your Louis Farrakhan's or the Asian chick who works for the New York Times. I don't know. I forgot her name. Who was
Sarah Jong.
Yeah, Sarah Jong. Um, those could be on your list, but on the list, you exposed the lesser knowns, and that showed some real research on your part. How difficult was that, or was it rather easy to say, let's go for the lesser than the more prominent?
Well,
Was it easy to do that?
you know what? It was very easy because when you're searching on Twitter, you can refine your search to include simply verified accounts. And so you'll put that a category in verified account, and then you search keywords. And when I did this for the first time, what I saw were thousands of examples of anti-white racism just right there in front of me. It blew my mind. And so I just started retweeting them and retweeting them and retweeting them, and people started responding to it. They started saying like, wow, like can you imagine this? And like you said before, these are verified accounts. And I think what your audience needs to understand is that if you become verified on Twitter, that means you're somebody. That means that you have social capital and that people listen to you. And if you're out there spewing racism, whether it's towards blacks, Jews, whites, or anybody, if you have a verified account, your opinion matters. And what scares me about this is we've got verified accounts saying that, they want to kill white people that have, maybe 1,000 followers. But I mean, we're talking about people that work at BuzzFeed. We're talking about people that work at Vice News. We're talking about reporters for CNN. We're talking about Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen has like over 1 million followers on Twitter. And so when you count all of these blue check marks followers, these people are spewing this anti-white racism to millions and millions and millions of Americans every single day. And, this anti-white racism has become normalized in American society today. And I hate to use their language, but really there is a systemically institutionalized, supported racism, and it is directed at white people.
And I have to say that the biggest shock to me while visiting your Twitter page wasn't just the amount of verified accounts spewing the anti-white hate that you're speaking of, but the number of verified people, as you alluded to, publicly doing it. And these people work for huge corporations with the ultra sensitive HR departments, And I have a few here that I wanted to run by you. And this is from your account. Now we have CBS producer Shanika Johnson tweeting what she thinks of white people, which is she says now the white women can't keep their hands off our men. So as they continue to make mixed babies, the white man will cease to exist. Pow. LOL. Then she says, so many women, black, Hispanic, and Asian Americans in Senate and Congress now. Middle-aged white men are slowly becoming minority. Beautiful. Now, if one of her coworkers were a white male coworker were to report her to HR on the job for saying this, I'm thinking that she would be in some sort of trouble. But I don't know. I guess on Twitter, it's all good. And we also have Microsoft developer Christina Warren, who simply says, fuck white people, which I'm assuming means Microsoft too. And you also have a picture of PBS employee Lindsay Ellis, who was really excited about white genocide and admitted to even making a Pinterest board for it. Now, Blue, my question is, does this shock you even more than it did when you first started, or do you just become numb to what you're finding and then nothing surprises you anymore?
Well, you know what? At first, I was shocked. At first, I really was. But, I've come to understand the problem as time has passed. And really what we're seeing here is the normalization of racial animosity in the United States of America. Now, this racial hatred has basically always been here because America is an accumulation of other peoples from other states. And so when you get all of these people living amongst one another, there inevitably will become tension. But what is unique to the United States is that this tension, this racial animosity, is supported by the institutions that we look to get our news. The institutions that provide our internet. These are billion-dollar companies that we trust, we love, we support, we pay money to. And this racial animosity is supported by the institutions of America. And so really this problem is very, very, very serious because what has happened is Americans, especially millennials and Generation Z, it has become trendy and fashionable to hate white people. It has become a sort of a social badge that it's sort of like the social justice warriors. If you don't hate white people, then you're not one of them. And so really, this is a dangerous precedent that these very prominent figures are setting for us.
Now, what do you think about Facebook? Because the sentiment there is that they discriminate against conservatives as well. And in fact, Facebook is still censoring many of Prager University's videos from public view. And Prager University is pretty much a conservative think tank, and their 5-minute videos are being censored from public view. And PragerU is already taking YouTube to court for censoring the videos on that platform. So, Blue, question: do you think that this form of censorship by the social media titans is a strategy to interfere with the midterms?
Yes, I believe that is one of their goals. But more importantly, and we can look back at when Obama gave out millions of Obama phones. When Obama did the Obama phone plan, he made sure that the phone plan included enough data so that these people could sit on the couch on Twitter all day, every single day. And so, it's like, if you're giving people phones as a social service, maybe you should just, give them a phone so that they can call one another as opposed to sit on Facebook all day. But regardless,
right.
The reason that he gave out millions and millions of Obama phones wasn't so that they could call each other. It was so that these social media organizations could collect all of these people, put them in a box, and mobilize them into the voting booths whenever they felt that they needed to do so. Not only that, soon after the Obama phone plan, that's when Black Lives Matter started. And so how do you mobilize these people out into the streets? How do you get them into the voting booths? You get them on social media, you coordinate them, and how do you do that? You got to put a phone in their hand. So this is, you got to keep in mind that all of these social media companies, they had an open door policy with the Obama administration. And so
right.
Donald Trump, he's got to do something about this and got to undo this subversive plan to undermine the United States of America. We are in the midst of a Maoist social revolution. They're destroying our heritage. They're ripping down our monuments. And, they're tearing the Constitution. And if we don't do something about it, we're going to lose our country.
Well, Blue, that was the last word. I want to thank you for stopping by, and please continue to do this invaluable work. And I anticipate that you will grow, but all eyes will be on you and up at Twitter headquarters. So stay vigilant, keep it up, and I got your back. Now,
Okay.
for those listening to the show via audio, I want you to tell them where you can be found.
Oh, well, you can find me on Twitter at meme_America. And that's the only social media platform I am on. The
Okay.
hashtag is verified hate.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Blue. You have a good weekend. Stay safe and God bless.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Indeed.